Not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Yeah, I think I might turn this around so I can get a better lighting on me. But I'm wait till people come in. Of course, it's another day of food for thought. See, we got better lighting right here. Yeah, it's a little better. Maybe not the greatest ambience or what have you of the city and all that there, but it's something. Yeah. Shout out to all those who are coming in. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. You know, that was an old song back in the day. Greetings, peace, love, happiness, soul to everybody who's coming in. Yes, let me hear from you. I know some of you all are just waking up, stretch your morning yawning. Yeah, good morning, country mama. How are you? Where are you rising and shining at? Or are you out and about here in the Eastern world and not out in the Western world? Hello, Yvette. Yes, how are you? We life, peace and blessings, my brother from DC. Okay, y'all just up in the morning. Y'all here this morning, and you got. Well, I'm waiting on a guest to get here too. He's somewhere, but oh, let me take this with me. Walk out in this hallway. Maybe he's a little lost. Yeah. So yeah, we gonna. I just want to share a little bit of something, food for thought. Always, you know. Always sharing a food for thought. And we're gonna just drop some nuggets right there at your feet. I think he might be at the other floor level. Yeah, you know, just every time, you know, I have something that just comes into my spirit. Oh, there you are. Where were you? Over there? My brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, again, we meet. Look, we got the one and only, y'all. We got the one and only. Y'all, none of y'all don't even know who this man is right here. Give him a shout out.
Pepino.
Pepino in the house. Come on, brother. Let's come on in. Yeah. We right here in Dar es Salaam. We're right here in Tanzania. I just started a live, man. So I said, let me go ahead and throw something up in here. I had a thought come. So, you know, when I have these thoughts come, man, I gotta let it go, man, and that's it, you know. You know, catch it while you can and let it out when you can, you know, because sometimes, you know, when you have those that come in your spirit, whatever, you can ad-lib it as long as, you know, if it lingers there, you know. Sometimes you want to chew on it and think about it. And sometimes, man, you can find yourself, you know, trying to add on to more than what you actually just, when it dropped in your spirit. So, yeah. Hey, man, go ahead and take a menu, man. Look at the menu, see what you want. Get. But yeah, family, as people come in, I'm gonna drop something in. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I titled that, and my man just showed up here, so we even gonna bring him in. I didn't even expect to do the live. I wasn't sure, Pepino, where you were, so I said let me throw something out here, and then. As soon as I got started, I've been like 4 minutes now. Yeah, as soon as I got started, it was you showed up. Yeah, Ice Cube. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Did Public Enemy also do something? I know a lot of people were saying check yourself before you wreck yourself. It became a well-known faddish thing. Malika, hey, Mr. Go Black, unapologetic nomad families are in Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Oh yeah, somebody was telling me yesterday that they're here. I guess they got out of that Rwanda lockdown because yeah, they locked down Rwanda even more lockdown. So it's good to see that they got out of there, you know. But you know, the thing of it is that you know, your man. Hey, I already saw it. Hey, I already knew where I was headed. I knew I was headed to Tanzania, you know. Once my wife left, got her there to Nairobi to fly out, then I stayed there to actually, I'm committed with the African Tigress, did interviews with her. I knew, hey, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. How many of y'all saw King King Kuntunga? Or is it Kuntunda? Come on over, sit right here, brother. Cause we gonna get you in here too, man. Cause you're gonna be in this conversation, and then was it King Katunga? Katunda. He's over in Uganda. He's about to leave. He said he got to get out of there. You know, he got to get out of there because, you know, they done shut down the, they might have to scoot over some, brother. They done shut down some of the internet and stuff. He was having issues and problems when they was going through their, the country was going through their election. And so now they done, you know, locking down stuff and all that right there. But hey, I share with you all this right here. You got to do your homework. Now, just because you do your homework don't mean that actually things are going to turn out the way you want, because every day is a new day. But you got to know the hearts and the spirit of people. You got to know the history of people. You got to know if you're stepping into a place that, you know, there are some underlying issues that are just fuming from years ago. I share with you about my thoughts on Rwanda. We had a great time there in Rwanda, but I felt as though I should not be there. That is for the people there that are still going through the so-called issues that lingered from the 90s. People said we look alike. Somebody said, y'all look alike. Of course we do. We're brothers. Well, I mean, hey, what do you expect? You know, we're brothers from the same mother. So, you know, but I knew that when we got here to Tanzania, y'all look at my video, and we shared about how Tanzania was so open and free because there's no COVID and all that. And that plays a lot on people's psyche. You know, when we landed in the airport, people was just smiling and waving and welcoming, you know, and they were like, hey, no problem, go over here. We prayed, you know, which really opened my eyes up that a man is willing to go out on a limb in his faith and then go to a people and say, hey, y'all been talking about y'all God, y'all been talking about Allah. It's time for y'all now to go and see that Allah and God, whatever your faith is, take care of this issue right here. So I'm here with my man, Papino, who is Tanzanian, you know, and born and raised here, right? Born and raised here. Man has definitely, he's got some growth in his spirit. Definitely, he got some nuggets to share as well. We're meeting today because we're gonna chop it up about some business adventures. Because I know that as time go on, there's more people like yourself who are gonna be wanting to come to Tanzania. And if you need anybody who's gonna be the one to probably show you around and be honest and genuine, this guy right here. My first time coming here, you know, he just walked by, sat down, and we, you know, just kicked it and he invited me to his house. Me and my wife, we went to his house, sat down, and you know, and had great conversation. So, my brother, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man.
It's been what, about a month or so, 2 months, a month and a half, maybe? I can't remember. It's been a month, yeah. Not too much, yeah. Yeah. What you got for the people, man? I mean, you know, tell a little bit about yourself.
Well, what's up, brothers and sisters out there? Yeah.
You might have to speak up just a little bit.
Sorry?
You might speak up just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, what's up, brothers and sisters out there in the whole universe? Nice to see you again. Nice to see my brother here. After a little travels and, you know, setups, he's finally back, and I'm glad he called back to see what's going on in Tanzania, as he went throughout other countries, also seeing how, especially the health issues, as in, you know, people, how do they survive over this corona stuff right now, and, you know, are people free moving from one place to the other. So I'm glad he's back, and at least he has an exposure right now to see that what's the difference between the East African countries you know, especially on the government level, on how do they treat the people, how's the fear within the people, how do they, you know, do their daily dealings, and, you know. So I'm glad he's back, and well, we will all share the experience. It's not just about me, because you know, I'm here and surviving hard, you know, but then it's more about the people. Where are they safe to go? You know, we hear new updates every day. Like 3 days ago, I heard about Kenya. You know, they're going down so hard on the lockdown right now again, because their situation is becoming even tough for people who are about to go in and come out. So it's also a heads up to those of you who are willing to come Tanzania via Kenya. You know, that's a heads up. You should look on what's going on in Kenya right now. If you had your plane ticket already set up for that, you know, just go back and dig in and see what other options do you have, you know, or what are you supposed to go through when you reach Kenya, you know, before you come to Tanzania, because that's really what you should look up to. Because I've had brothers and sisters telling me from where they're from, it's very hard to get one direct plane ticket to Tanzania. So you should look at where you reach out before you come to Tanzania. So it's just a heads up to those of you who had their, you know, way via Kenya. Just go back and look to it again, because there's something fishy in Kenya right now, and I think you should all know it before, you know, you get trapped in there.
Yeah. You got to do your research, family. You got to be able to make sure when you're traveling where you're going to. Like I said, you know, sometimes you can just get a taste of maybe what's going on just by going to the State Department. Now, we do know that governments do lie and try to keep people away from countries and they have motive agendas. But in saying that, it's one source. I believe you should have 2 or 3 witnesses when it comes to information. If you rely on one information, you're probably going to find yourself being tricked. So yeah, you should always rely on 2 to 3 witnesses on anything. But so, you know, Pepino, what attracted me to, you know, Tanzania in this travel, especially during COVID, was the fact that, you know, the government has been stable. When is the last time, because you've been born and raised here, was in your lifetime, has there been instability in this country, especially during elections? What is your experience with that?
Well, as usual, man, they lock us down. We've been on lockdowns on elections before Corona, so we know what's going on with elections. They make sure they shut everything down so as we don't have the right to, you know, express our feelings and our thoughts on the situation, especially when it comes to choosing who's the right leader or who's the right person to, you know, rule for a particular time. So yeah, they make walls, you know, like especially on the media level, you know, most people get it very hard to, you know, make contacts during elections. Like they go through the media and try to shut down all the social networks so as, you know, the news doesn't spread up, you know. So that has been happening, and it's still happening even in the last elections. And we still even have some other social networks that are not open yet, like Twitter isn't working here, you know, unless you're smart enough to use the VPN and stuff, you know. Not most of you know that, but then, you know,
I have VPN.
Yes, for those of us who know how to, you know, look for information by any means necessary, you know, we are the revolutionaries, so we don't get blocked by any circumstances because we already counterattack every means that they think that we do not know. So we have the information earlier, we spread it to the right people, you know, so as it can reach out the whole, you know, needy.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, shutting down internets and stuff like that could be a good thing from the spread of propaganda from outside sources who are trying to make an influence on a people by the propaganda that's shared by the outside sources to select or elect the ones that they want in office, you know. And so sometimes, you know, how it is when you have outside forces who are trying to squeeze their way in, trying to misguide people into a direction where they who are outside want a particular individual because they can have a puppet man. Sometimes, you know, they'll shut down that information, right? Yeah. But in saying that though, I know that there is no perfect place. You know, hey, we just looked at what happened there in America when they bum rushed the Capitol building during elections. I mean, you know, during the process of just recently, well, you know, rather the inauguration coming in, not during elections because he had already won. But this is something that you're going to see that's going to even get worse in America as time goes by. Because people are learning even from other countries that are in the Western worlds that people want to make sure that when they're going to election, things are fair and equitable. We have been complacent in America, believing our vote really counts and that there is no influence in who's selected for the president. You know, and I know when we woke up in the morning, everybody swore Hillary Clinton won. They turned around and a switch came about and Trump was sitting in the daggone White House. So yeah, but anyway, you know, that was just something, not to get off topic, but knowing the stability of a country, knowing the people, knowing the heart of the people, knowing the outside influences that may have a control over the people is very important to me. And like I said, because of the COVID situation, because I like every country I've been to, you know. I like each country has its own flavor, but each country has its own governments. I named the 5 things that I look for when deciding where do I want to create a base. And people keep saying, are you gonna live there forever? No, I don't live anywhere forever. I float. So yeah, but for a base, and it's still up in the air, you know, still up in the air. But anyway, hey, I titled this thing, Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself. You know, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself because sometimes, you know, you could be your worst enemy. Sometimes you can play head games with yourself. You can have those, I would say, those teachers. You will have those people who were in your life who spoke things that weren't necessarily true. And you carry that old schools of thought and you believe it's fact. And then you wonder why you have been wrecked. And so checking yourself, you got to check your emotions. You got to check the reasons why you want to do things. You got to check your heart. You got to check why you want to do things, let alone moving to Africa. Why do you want to move to Africa? You know, I know people who have moved to Africa based off of other people saying, come. You got to check yourself before you come and wreck yourself. There are people who have YouTube channels. There are people who have influences over you all who are watching that, you know, paint a picture, but don't paint the whole picture and sharing what is actually going on the ground that they stand. And I see people who are leaving, relocating, coming to a foreign land, and sometimes finding that the very person that they were trying to follow wasn't there to greet them. And so I'm saying, like I tell people here, I tell people this right here, don't follow me. Please don't follow me. You know, I have people email and say, hey, yeah, you know, you're going to be there. You know, hey, I want to look you up, this and that. Hey, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not. Don't come because of me. Don't you think because Go Black is here in Tanzania today that, you know, you can connect and maybe, you know, I can be a powerful resource for you or what have you. No. I'll tell anybody, don't dare do that. That is dangerous. You about to wreck yourself. Because then, if you haven't done your own homework, if you haven't gotten your contacts, if you haven't done your research on the country, the city, what's going on within it, you in a world of trouble. You're in a world of trouble. This is why one of the reasons why you know, I meet very few special people. Thank you, Miss Jan, for your giving. Very few people I meet that I'm willing to go ahead and promote or to invite into your life. You know, our spirits connect. Me and my brother Pepino connected when we first met, and he's actually helping other diasporans who come here on the ground, found themselves in some tough situations, scams and stuff like that. That he's able to, you know, help them a little bit out of their issues that they have. And I thought it was important, one, that you know, if those who are thinking about coming after doing your research and doing all your homework, that you think in Tanzania might be a place that you have a concrete, reputable person right here, Pepino, who can help and assist you. Now, with that and saying that, you know, like before, I did a video with him, you know, information will be shared with you. But you got to understand too, like I tell people reach out to me, time is money, and money is time. And people waste a lot of your time. Man, if I had $1 for the amount of people who waste my time, you know, that really pushes me sometimes. You're like, you know, I'm gonna start charging these people because, you know, people got all these ideas about wanting to come and then they like, oh, I decided to change my mind. You told me you're gonna be here in 3 days or whatever. I was gonna get things set up for people. And I understand. I understand people are hesitant, people have fear, people have doubts. And they're really unsure of themselves what they want to do. But you got to keep in mind that those that I turn on to you, these are people I find that are credible. And you look up my videos, I very rarely will tell you to connect with somebody. Matter of fact, I think Pepino, you're the only person that I have actually stated that, hey, check you out. I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm not sitting here missing anybody. But when I've been in Tanzania, I mean, unless it was like a Uber driver or something like that, I don't even think I did that. But yeah, that's that. So checking yourself before you wreck yourself. And what do you got about that, brother? I know you got something to drop on, man, about checking yourself before you wreck yourself. What you got?
Yeah, you know, you gotta get back to your roots. That's how you check yourself. And you know, I know that by checking yourself, you don't start by yourself really, because you never came here by yourself. You know, there are ancient people who came before you, you know, so we should really look up to them. How did they survive? Because there's nothing new in this world right now, you know, we're just passing through, you know. So it's the energies that pulls us wherever we are, you know. We've been here, we are just transiting from one life to another, you know. Most people say we die, you know. I call it transitioning, you know. So why do we have to check ourselves? Because you know, the people we are engaging with these days, you know, it's very hard to tell, because you do not know who's real and who's not, you know. Though we say that real recognize real, but still it's very hard to know that you know, because even the one you think is real, he's not checking on himself, you know. He doesn't recognize himself, or the level, or I'd say that the IQ or the percentage that he thinks that he's checking himself is on the material level, you know. How do I dress? How do I eat? You know, how do I move alike? You know, so to me that's way different, because I'm thinking like you know, why should one, you know, say that he loves a brother or he loves a sister, and they really don't like you know, have that time to spend together, or you know, see how they can help each other personally, you know, as your own, because you don't call a person your own, and you know, you don't see yourself living his lifestyle or living her lifestyle, or uplifting him or her from where he is, you know. So that's my perspective of checking yourself, because I don't check just myself, I check into my brother. I'm my brother's keeper, I'm my sister's keeper. So while I'm checking myself, I'm checking on my brother. While I'm checking on my brother, I'm checking on myself. That's why, for those of you who know or have heard about it, you know, we as the Rastafari have a saying which says I and I. You know, there's no second person. It's just one, you know. So as I'm checking myself, I'm checking on yourself too. So I need to also check on the brother or the sister next to me, so as to know how's the flow, how am I supposed to live with this brother, you know. how is he reacting to my lifestyle? Is he pleased? Am I pleased with his? Especially as a native, to me, it's really about, the flow. How am I supposed to really accept you to accept me? So, man, when you talk about checking myself, I really check myself to check on yourself. So as to recognize, I don't just check myself, I check on you too. I really have to check on you, because I don't just welcome nobody. I'm a native here, but that doesn't mean that I just like move with everybody, because most people think, oh, the West it's only the West where there is Babylon. Come on, man, Babylon is everywhere. You think you're running from America coming here, that you won't see Babylon. Babylon is everywhere. It's not a name, or it's not an entity. It's just like, it's everywhere. Trust me, it's within you. It's not everywhere. It's within you. It's the person who is a Babylon or is a Messiah, because you're the one doing the bad acts and the good acts. So if you're running away from yourself, and you're not running away from Babylon. So that's my definition of, checking yourself or checking your brother. It's not about self, it's about a collective. So to me, it's the same energy I see to my brother, it's the same I feel. So if I feel a bad energy towards my brother, I hope, I believe he or she should do the same way to me. I shouldn't ask, even if you're not smart enough for you to wait for me to say, can you help me with this? In fact, it's not a help. You're not helping me, you're helping yourself. So, well, as the brother keeps saying, we should like really do some homeworks. Really do some homeworks, especially on self. Because when you know self, you know how your brother or your sister, how you treat your brother, how you feel against moving with your family, your own, whatever you call your own. You should know how to live close to them, and not make you yourself look like you're the odd one out. I don't see nobody as an odd one out. Even though I say sometimes that I tend to look to people to talk with, is because just of the frequency and the energy. If I know you have a bad energy, why should I waste my frequencies on you? But then I know you. First I have to know you first, so as I know what type of energy. So I don't ignore nobody. But then after knowing is when I choose to, either roll with you or not roll with you. And some people, they have bad energies, but it's easier to turn their bad energies, because whether they had those kind of lifestyles within them, or they just picked them up at the middle of the blue. So yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
Hey, yeah, somebody said powerful words. Yeah, reggae at work. He said powerful words. Everybody's been liking that, what you're saying. Well, and not even liking what you're saying. Everybody is vibing with that. It's connecting. It's resonating with people who are saying. When you said, you must also check your brother. That's basically what I was saying. You got to check your brother. You got to do your homework. You got to do your research before you go over to any country, any place. You got to check the place where you're going. The people, the government. The government is the people. The government is people. Yeah. Like you said, Babylon. Babylon doesn't sit on top of the earth. Babylon is the people, the systems that have been put in place by human beings. And so, yeah, you got to check yourself, check your brother, because if you don't, then there will be definitely a wreck. There will be a collision. There will be, this mishap that'll happen to where, you find yourself in a predicament that you may not know how to get out of. And so, this is just this food for thought that I had this morning as I was stretching and morning yawning, and coming here. I had some lunch. Maybe I was telling you about eating, because I ate, before you got here. Because my body was saying time to eat. But that's one of our histories. How we as people, would sit down and break bread. Because I was telling my brother, I know back there in America, gathering of food, just like Africa too, gathering of food, man, brings on an energy and a mindset and a thought process, and conversations happen, and business deals, and all these things happen around food, you know, because your body, you know, needs that energy, you know, and your body needs that energy, and it's good to your spirit if it's wholesome. If it's not, you know, filled with grease and fat and it bogs you down mentally and spiritually, it can do a circle of good. So yeah, but you know, family, I know it's early there in the morning there. Just probably turn on. What time do you have there on your phone? What time is it here? We have y'all probably know.
14:26 hours.
Okay, 14:26. So it's 2:26. You got military time, man. You might have had my brain think. Hold up, 14:26. I ain't used military time in a long time. Yeah, but anyway, we gonna keep this short right here, and then I'm gonna be back at you because I gotta push out some videos while me and Pepino sit here and have some conversation. But guarantee we'll be back at you. Yeah, where's my beard? Yeah, I just cut it. You know, hey, like I say, I flow. You know, 1 minute, you know, I have the beard, and next minute not. You know, today you see hair, tomorrow you may not. You know, so that's just how I flow. You know, that's how I flow. But yes, family, we'll be back at you here shortly. So y'all enjoy. Go ahead and get yourself together. Get yourself up on your morning schedule, and we'll be back. So we'll talk with you later.